Hello, everyone. This is EB the Sponge Reviewer here, and tonight I'm here to give you guys my review on the SpongeBob and Patrick's timeline twist up, which is the season 16 premiere of SpongeBob SquarePants, which is an hour-long special where SpongeBob and Patrick travels into Patrick's time closet to fix the past when Patrick's family ends up taking over the events from the first season of SpongeBob SquarePants. Now, this episode was rather a little interesting in my opinion because we did get to see the return of the season one style animation where they recreated the style of season one using the digital designs because we obviously know that they're not going to go back to the cells of season one because cells are very expensive and it is a very outdated animation medium. So they recreated the season one style, and they actually did a pretty good job recreating the style of season one. So yeah, so the events that happened in this episode, like all the Star family members ends up in different of the season one episodes. Like for example, Squidina was in Rock Bottom, Cecil was in Ripped Pants, Bunny was in Neptune's Spatula, and finally Grandpat was in Help Wanted. Now, yeah, so, and not only that, not only they actually recreated most of those scenes from those episodes, they actually added new scenes to where it affects the timeline of the episodes. Like for Squidina, for example, we did have the recreated scenes of Rock Bottom, such as SpongeBob and Patrick riding on the bus to Rock Bottom. And when Squidina appears from the time closet, she ends up meeting up with these gang of teenage troublemakers of Rock Bottom, and so they end up teaming up with Squidina, and they end up doing pranks to all of the Rock Bottom citizens. And moving on to Cecil. So yeah, Cecil was in Ripped Pants, where we get to see Sandy and Larry the Lobster. It was at the scene where SpongeBob was going to lift the two marshmallows attached to a stick from the Ripped Pants episode. Cecil takes over, and because he rips his pants, everyone finds it amusing, and so he ends up starting a Ripped Pants fashion show type thing, where Cecil goes around ripping his pants and encourages everyone to do the same, and then it backfires where it was like in the middle of winter, and then because everyone kept ripping his pants, well, everyone kept ripping their pants. That is, they get really mad at Cecil. Now moving on to Bunny, she takes over the Neptune Spatula set of events where the episode plays as normally, where SpongeBob and Patrick sees the Neptune Spatula amulet, and when Larry's about to pull the spatula out from the grease, that's when Bunny appears, and she catches SpongeBob about to pull the spatula out from the grease. She sanitizes it, and that's when Neptune shows up. And so basically with this episode, well, this segment that is, Neptune then gives Bunny his trident, and then Bunny goes around Bikini Bottom using Neptune's trident, doing all these good deeds and all these other crazy stuff. And then finally we had Grandpat, which was the Help Wanted segment, where we get to see Grandpat take on the events of Help Wanted, where SpongeBob gets a job at the Krusty Krab, and then instead it's Grandpat who gets the job, and then SpongeBob, the Pat SpongeBob gets all depressed about it, and that's when SpongeBob and Patrick interferes and tries to fix the timeline where the season one SpongeBob gets the job at the Krusty Krab. And yeah, that's basically how the episode just wraps up. It just wraps up with SpongeBob and Patrick bringing Grandpat back to the future, and that's basically how the episode ends out. So yeah, I can already tell that this episode might somewhat sit well with old school SpongeBob fans, while others will not accept it. And I completely understand that, because this is basically their take of the past events of SpongeBob SquarePants, hence the title SpongeBob and Patrick's Timeline Twist Up. So of course, if you're not, I mean, of course, this isn't going to sit well with everyone who are big fans of the classic era, and that's completely fine because this is just the team basically taking the events from the old episodes and adding a different twist to it, where that fits to the modern style of SpongeBob SquarePants, and of course, it's not going to sit well with everyone. But for my personal opinion, I found these changes to be decent at best. If I had to pick a favorite moment, I have to say I kind of enjoyed Squidina's and Grandpatz's segments better. Cecil and Bunny's, they were all right. I think Cecil would most likely be my least favorite because I don't know, it was just all right. I guess it wasn't anything too special, but I did enjoy Grandpatz and Squidina's timeline twist ups in the Rock Bottom and the Help Wanted segment. As a matter of fact, one more detail I'll add is that and Grandpatz's segment, it actually mixes between both Plankton and Help Wanted. It's because there was actually a little part in the Grandpat moment where they recreated the events of Plankton, where Plankton steals the Krabby Patty and drops it into the little formula thing in his laboratory, and we get to see the return of Karen's design from season 1, where she was mounted to a wall. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, overall, SpongeBob and Patrick's timeline twist up. This was a pretty decent 1 hour special. It was really cool seeing them recreating the events of season 1 and their own style. That was pretty cool in my opinion, and they did a really good job recreating the season 1 style into the season 16 style, because you can still tell that the design, I mean, they resemble season 1, but you can tell that it's digital because that's the new form. So yeah, that is my review on SpongeBob and Patrick's Timeline Twist Up. This was a pretty decent 1 hour special, and yeah. So yeah, don't worry, you guys. There is going to be another video coming out later tonight where I will be giving out my review on Making Waves and Captain Quasar the Next Iteration, as the episodes came on Nickelodeon before this special. So I will quickly give out my review on those episodes immediately after this one. So stay tuned for that. And with that, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys with those reviews in just a moment.